If you're seeing this, I have great news. There's no hashtags, so this was truly meant for you. You're gonna have a great day and an even better 2025. Claim it. It's yours.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we're going to analyze how a woman is furious because, after giving a chance to the typical friend in waiting, who chased her for 10 years, he simply used her after one night together and then disappeared. We want you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Recently, we noticed that 73% of the people watching our content aren't subscribed, so we invite you to join us. We promise to always bring you quality topics. Don't forget to leave us your comments and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video. Now, let's get started.
Hey guys, so I'm about to have a vulnerable moment. I rarely do this. Don't make me regret it. Okay? I'm gonna let y'all in my business just a little bit. Okay, so let me tell y'all a story about how I will never give a nigga that's not in my league a chance ever again. So you know how guys be like, listen, I swear, like, you ever give me a chance, I'm gonna really show you. I don't fall for those guys, right? I like what I like type person. If you didn't get me within the first 10 minutes of me talking to you, you probably ain't never gonna get me, right? So there was a gentleman that had been reaching out to me, when I tell you, for over 10 years. Over 10 years in my DMs, talking to himself most of the time. Within the past like 3 years, maybe I might have given him my number through Instagram because I was having a vulnerable moment. And we've had conversations before. We've met in person. I just was not interested. Okay. It got to the point where he was so resilient, so persistent that I was like, I guess I'll try. So whatever, he ended up getting my number, and now he's talking to himself in my DMs and texting me every morning, sending me prayers every morning. That's scripture. Okay. I love that. And I went through a really, really emotional time last year. So like little stuff like that was really hitting home for me and, touching my soft spot. So he got cool points for that from me. For whatever reason, I don't really know how my brain functions and why I was allowing certain things to go on, but I did nonetheless. So here we are. I started being like, hey, if I'm in town, I'll hang out. He started being like, hey, I am going to send a flight for you. Come hang out with me. I want to show you that I want to marry you. And I used to respond like, hey, bro, every nigga says that, right? Every nigga wants a piece of you until they get you in and they're gone. No, I'm going to marry you. Like, you're my dream woman. So now I'm like, all right, it's cool. I can go to a wedding with him. I like going to weddings.
Oh, hell no!
Cognitive bias, called the sunk cost fallacy. This happens when you've invested so much time in something that you're afraid to let it go. Not because of its current value, but because of what you've already invested. This man clearly spent years climbing a steep uphill mountain with this woman. She even admits it herself. I didn't like him. 10 years of persistence, essentially climbing the Mount Everest of the friend zone. But everything changed when this woman's pool of potential candidates, probably in her early 30s or older, at the wall, started to dry up. And, like a good beta provider, with his constant invitations and promises of eternal love, he managed to get her to give him a chance. Not because she was truly interested, but because she needed a distraction. Let's continue.
I like seeing people show posts because I enjoy things like that, right? So I start considering actually flying to go see him. And now I'm like on his page picking him apart. Like, he'll send me videos like, hey, I went and got my teeth cleaned. I know how much you like when people get their teeth cleaned. I was like, okay, Effer. He's like, well, and I smell real nice. I like that type of stuff too. I'm like, you know what? He's so nice. Let me give him a chance. So I'm looking on his page, like looking at his teeth, looking how tall he is, looking at his body. And then I go, what's up with that hairline? And I look past it. That should have been my telltale sign. I'm looking at all his videos and looks like he has like a freaking painted on hairline, and I still went against my better judgment. He got me. So even after all my investigative work, that hairline, he got me. This is how he got me. I went on that boat. When I went on that boat, I got real bored. and really, I don't want to say lonely because that wasn't the word, but I was just like in need of some type of energy, right? Um, so he's messaging me while I'm on there, and I was like, you know what? I fly back to Houston I get back to Houston when I get there. Pull up. You live very close to there. Pull up. He was like, oh, I got this, that, and the third on Sunday. I was like, well, don't blow your opportunity. And he was like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to take this opportunity. You're giving me a window of opportunity. I'm going to take it. Oh, Lord. He's like, I'm going to drive down there on Saturday, stop drinking with you about 9 o'clock, and then drive back at 5 in the morning so I can make it back for X, Y, and Z on Sunday. I was like, hey, baby, whatever you choose to do, that's your business. Thirsty, right? So make a long story short, when I got off that boat and got back to the house, he was in Houston waiting for me. And I was like, just pull up to my mom's house. Like, just come hang out. I didn't realize by the time he got there how tired I would be. So now he's at my house, my mom's house, and I am exhausted. I can barely keep up with the conversation. He's chipper. He's ready. You get me? It's about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I am pooped. All right. But he's still there, not leaving, not catching none of the vibes that I'm clearly not being myself. Make a long story short, I get up and go out. We go out. We go to eat and then we go to drink with my cousins and my friends. There were so many signs in the night. So many signs that I should have just took my black ass home, but I chose to stay the night with him because I felt like, he drove all the way here. I could at least stay the night with him. That's the least I could do. Boy.
Hell to the no, no, no. Hell no.
If I chased you for 10 years, and when we meet you make me feel like a sucker, I'd ghost you too. Some men feel we hit gold, and if the conversation and energy is flat, we interpret that as maybe he misinterpreted you being tired as being completely uninterested. Girl, the second you said, give a guy that's not in your league a chance, Lord, I've been there, how and why do they do all that work just to ghost SMDH? Sounds to me like he was a good man, found that you weren't really feeling him and finally caught the drift. Some men just like the chase and are just meant to stay fans. I love the fact that you thought you was above him and he hit you and quit you.
At 36 years of age, still dumb as hell. Dumb. So stay the night. I wake up at like 8 in the morning. He's gone. I knew he would be gone. Let's also, when we got to the hotel room, obviously we showered. Baby, I'd never once seen this man without something on his head. You know that's a bad sign, right? Like you wouldn't put a do-rag on or whatever that was, his dreads. You wouldn't put that thing on your head to protect your hair. Cut it out. That hairline is on the struggle bus. I already know it is. Has to be. It can't. There's no other alternative. Anywho, I called him like when I woke up because I was hungover. And we had a little slight conversation and he was like, hey, I got to handle XYZ. Okay, go handle your business. I have not heard from that man since. He did exactly what I told him he would do. And I really hate that for him because he's dead to me. Dead, bitch. I called him a couple of times after that to like cuss him out, and he acted like he was just so busy with work. So busy with work and his child that he just couldn't fathom having this conversation right now, and that he would call me back. He called me back one time I was asleep, and I have yet to have a conversation with him. Baby, he has since gotten the "you are dead to me and you are a fucking loser" text message, which I have not heard back from. I also think I blocked him, so I won't be getting that correspondence back from him. But I say all that to say, to you nice guys out there that, you were hoping that one day I might give you a chance. I'm not interested in anybody. If you're not my type, I'm not even entertaining the thought of talking to you. He ruined it for all of you. Welcome. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. I am done embarrassing myself for the day.
Here, 2 key points are demonstrated. First, even when a woman has no real interest in a man, that doesn't necessarily stop her from going out with him. Second, when a woman hits the wall and her list of options shrinks, she starts accepting men she never would have considered in her younger years, even if they're not her type. This man played his card, but there are 2 possible explanations for what happened. First, there's a saying, don't get excited about the gift box until you've opened the gift. In other words, What you see in photos and on camera can be very different from what you find without filters in person. Perhaps the image this man had of her, the idealized 26-year-old he saw in photos a decade ago, wasn't the same as the 36-year-old woman standing in front of him. His illusion crumbled when he realized he was dealing with a very different version. Second, everything in the process, as she herself admits, showed signs of disinterest. Her gestures, her energy, her lack of chemistry. He probably noticed it, but decided to stick around to see how far things would go. They spent the night together, and the next day he simply concluded it wasn't worth the effort.
Here we are. I swore I wasn't gonna make any more response videos to this, but since I'm getting attacked on YouTube, I'm getting attacked on here, I thought I would elaborate some. All right, so people think that I'm just upset that he ghosted me after I made him chase me for so long. That's not the case. Let me make it really clear. I made that video for entertainment purposes. My life is literally hilarious. Like 10 billion things have happened since then that are way more entertaining than this. But of course, there has some sense of a negative connotation to it. So y'all are gonna just grab this and hold on to it because y'all think y'all got all the answers on the internet. So one, I made it to be entertaining. You guys are clearly entertained. Two, sometimes you just gotta like get something off your chest, and then it's like, whew, that was cathartic, and I'm gonna move on. My real reasoning for doing that video, other than the entertainment, was because I was trying to make a point of like, although this man used to, let me use my words wisely with you all. I used to confide in him. He used to always be like, I would never do you like that, Adrian. Those men are so stupid. You're such a, you're wifey material. You're this, you're that. And we forged some type of relationship over those 10 years. I'm not going to say that he was just some creep that I didn't know on the internet. Again, we had met previously, and I thought he was a good person. That's why I entertained him. That's why I did respond when I actually responded, because I thought he was a nice person. I just wasn't attracted to him as someone that I would date. Not because he was unattractive, just because I wasn't in the space to date him, or I just did not think that he was dating material for me. I thought we were more so better as friends. Which leads to why I made the video. I thought we were friends, and I thought he would understand that I've told him a million times that I have gotten disrespected and ghosted and cheated on by other people in the past, and he promised me he would never do such a thing, right?
Are you sure he didn't hit? 'Cause why you so emotional about him then when you act like you're not that attracted to him? Something ain't adding up here. As much as you want to try to soften the blow, you still talked about his hairline and made it seem like he was just talking to himself in your DMs for years. Have to admit it was childish. I just don't understand why women do that. 6 to 8 months after that, I'm done. Look what y'all get out of it. Wasted time? Y'all need Jesus for real. The part of the story that was weird to me is the way you described his appearance. That was a little mean, but you're entitled to define what's your caliber of men. It's never that serious. They found an open wound in a pretty girl and ate at that wound. That's all it is to it. Period. And it's okay for you to have your expectation I've gotten. Guys have the same whether they admit it. But why should he apologize for anything? He went above and beyond for 10 years to show you his interest. He went out of his way, drove 5 hours to see you, just to get mistreated by you.
So there was an open line of communication. My main issue was that after our date, or whatever you want to call that, our evening, if you were not attracted to me, or you didn't feel like we were a good combination, or I was dry, whatever you want to say, why wouldn't you just say, hey, Adrian, I really didn't catch a vibe with you, but, nonetheless, you still are a great person. I would love to still continue some type of friendship. That's a true adult. That's maturity, right? That's what I anticipated from him at the very least. And again, I had an expectation for him. Whenever you have expectations of people, you're generally going to get let down, right? So that's all that is. I have moved on. I don't care. I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck. We have not, communicated in any capacity since then, and I'm okay. Okay. I think y'all are more hurt than I am. And it's sad. But these videos, like these guys are doing on YouTube and now women as well, it's straight attacking me like because I said not in my league. That was for a lack of better words. When I don't even remember what I was trying to get across, but it's like that was so triggering to y'all. Some lady said she's not Beyonce, guys. I'm like, never claimed to be. I'm Adrienne Michelle. Like I am who I am, and I'm perfectly comfortable and secure in who I am. Like ease up off the brakes, my friend. Like I'm. I just don't understand. I'll never understand because it's not me, and y'all live in y'all's own world. But yeah, I don't think I'm in a league just because I'm pretty. I just think I fuck with a certain caliber of man, and I did not date within that caliber. I'm not wrong for saying that. I'm sure you guys have boundaries and boxes that you put people in as well. But fucking nail me to the cross, why don't you? But yeah, um, I don't. I'm not really big on this influencer thing. I post on social media because it's entertaining. Um, but y'all are making it not fun. Anyways, have a great day.
I don't know about you, but to me, something definitely happened that night. Even if she says otherwise, her ego is clearly shattered. There's nothing more painful for a woman than for a man to put in so much effort to change her mind, finally get to be with her, and then disappear without ever reaching out again. It's like a man spending a ton of money on a first date or a trip, only for her to just take pictures and for nothing to come of it. The blow to the ego is massive. That's why I never recommend being the friend. Brothers, what's not a clear yes is a no. All the energy wasted in the friend zone is better spent on a woman who is genuinely interested in you. And even if you eventually manage to get something with her, the dynamic will never be the same. She'll always feel like she was the one who gave you a chance, rather than you winning her over. This means you'll always be the one putting in double the effort to keep the relationship alive, and that position leaves you without control. But the big question here is, why do you think this man didn't reach out to her again? To me, as I said, something else happened. The guy decided he wasn't into her after all. Like I said, don't fall in love with the gift box until you open the gift. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why do you think this man never reached out to her again? Have you ever chased a woman for years, and in the end, was it worth it? We've come to the end of the video, but we're leaving you with 2 stories about modern women. Don't forget to activate notifications since we post daily videos. See you in the next episode of The Wall.